Hey guys, today we're going to talk about something that affects every single one of us, whether we realize it or not. Your mind. You may think that your biggest enemy is the world around you, the challenges you face, the obstacles that keep getting in your way. But what if I told you that the real battle isn't out there, but inside your own head? What if the greatest enemy you'll ever face is not the external world, but the very thoughts, fears, and beliefs that are running through your mind right now? This audiobook is here to reveal exactly how you can take control of your mind, not in a manipulative way, but in a powerful, transformative manner that will allow you to unlock your full potential and live the life you truly want. It's about breaking free from unconscious patterns, negative beliefs, and habitual thinking that have been running the show without you even knowing it. The most shocking thing about your mind is that you might not even be in control of it. At this very moment, your thoughts, your emotions, and even your decisions might be controlled by something far more powerful than your conscious will, your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind has been shaping your behaviors and thought patterns long before you were ever aware of it. And if you don't take conscious control of it, it will continue to dictate how you live your life. We often think we're making decisions freely, that we have total autonomy over our actions. But in reality, a vast majority of what you do is on autopilot, directed by the habits and fears you've accumulated over time. It's these habitual thoughts and beliefs that hold you back, preventing you from pursuing your goals, taking risks, and making the bold moves needed to succeed. For example, have you ever noticed how difficult it is to start something new, even when you know it's important? You may tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," but that tomorrow never seems to come. This isn't because you lack willpower. It's because your mind is stuck on autopilot, running outdated programming from past experiences and conditioned fears. The good news is, you have the ability to reprogram your mind. You can break free from the unconscious script that's been written for you and start living life according to your own desires and goals. But doing this requires more than just a passing desire. It requires real, actionable steps. Reprogramming your mind is not about trying to control others or manipulating your circumstances. It's about mastering yourself. It's about learning how to direct your thoughts, emotions, and actions so that they align with your highest potential. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds great in theory, but how do I actually do this? Well, that's exactly what we'll cover. We'll explore proven techniques, grounded in psychology and neuroscience, that will help you take full control of your thoughts and emotions. One of the most powerful tools you have is the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt over time. This is where the magic happens. Every time you challenge an old belief, shift a thought pattern, or apply new strategies, you physically change the structure of your brain. This means that no matter how deep-rooted your fears or negative thoughts may be, they are not permanent. With the right tools and practices, you can rewire your brain for success, confidence, and unshakable mental resilience. When we talk about mental control, we're not referring to some rigid, mechanical state where everything is controlled in a robotic fashion. No. Mental control is about cultivating clarity, focus, and purpose in your daily life. It's about overcoming the mental chaos that often leads to procrastination, self-doubt, and inaction. Imagine you're trying to make an important decision, but your mind is filled with anxiety and self-doubt. Maybe you're second-guessing yourself. wondering if you're making the right choice. In those moments, your mind is working against you, not for you. But with mental control, you learn how to quiet the noise and tap into your inner wisdom, enabling you to make decisions that move you closer to your goals. But how do you master your mind? How do you take control in moments of doubt, anxiety, or fear? It starts with awareness. You need to become aware of the mental patterns that have been running in the background. You need to identify the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that are limiting your potential and replace them with empowering ones. This process doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, and you'll need patience and practice. But I promise you, the results are life-changing. When you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that mental mastery is a one-time fix. They believe that if they just read a few books or listen to some motivational speeches, they'll have it all figured out. But true mental control is not something you simply attain. It's something you cultivate and refine every single day. This is where most people get stuck. They'll read a motivational book or hear a great speaker, and for a brief moment, they feel inspired. But the moment they face a challenge, a setback, or a moment of doubt, they fall right back into old habits and thought patterns. The key to overcoming this is consistency. You must train your mind daily, just like you would train your body at the gym. Mental control is like building muscle. It doesn't happen with one great workout. It happens with small, consistent efforts over time. You don't need to do everything perfectly right away. Just start. And with every step you take, you'll grow stronger, more confident, and more capable of handling life's challenges. When you achieve true mental mastery, you gain freedom. You gain the freedom to pursue your dreams without fear holding you back. You gain the confidence to take bold actions, even when the outcome is uncertain. You become unshakable, no longer at the mercy of your emotions, doubts, or past experiences. But this freedom doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from within. It comes from mastering your mind. You might be wondering, what's the first step to begin this journey? The first step is simple. Decide. Decide that you are ready to take control. Decide that you are willing to break free from the mental chains that have been holding you back. And from that moment, everything begins to shift. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. When you learn how to control it, you unlock limitless potential. Everything you want in life, success, confidence, happiness, is rooted in your ability to take control of your thoughts and emotions. The choice is yours. Are you ready to take that first step? Let's get into one of the most powerful concepts that can shape the way you think, feel, and act, the subconscious mind. This is where your mental patterns are formed, and most of the time, it runs your life without you even realizing it. But here's the truth. If you want to take control of your life, you must first take control of your subconscious mind. Think about this. You might believe you are consciously making decisions, but research has shown that 95% of your daily thoughts, actions, and behaviors are controlled by your subconscious mind. That's right. Most of the time, your conscious mind is just along for the ride, while your subconscious is running the show. Now, let's break this down. The subconscious mind is like a sponge, absorbing everything it experiences, especially during your early years. It doesn't have the ability to question or reason. It simply records everything you experience as truth. If you were told as a child that you weren't good enough or that success was out of reach, Those beliefs were absorbed into your subconscious mind and became part of the programming that runs in the background. This might sound a little unsettling at first, but there's good news. The subconscious mind can be rewired. Just because you've carried limiting beliefs with you for years doesn't mean you're stuck with them forever. With the right tools and strategies, you can challenge and replace those beliefs, shifting your mindset to one that supports your growth, success, and happiness. But here's where many people go wrong. They think that simply wishing for change or reading a motivational book is enough to rewrite these subconscious beliefs. It's not. Reprogramming your subconscious takes deliberate, consistent effort. It requires an understanding of how your subconscious works and the tools you can use to override its default programming. Your subconscious mind works like a filter, constantly scanning your environment for information that aligns with your existing beliefs. This is known as the reticular activating system, RAS, a network in your brain that decides what information is relevant and worthy of your conscious attention. When you have limiting beliefs like, "I'm not good enough," or "success is too hard," your RAS filters the world around you in a way that reinforces these beliefs. It directs your attention to situations, people, and experiences that validate your negative mindset. Let's say, for example, you believe you're not worthy of success. Your RAS will filter out opportunities for success and highlight instances where you fail or feel inadequate. It will make sure you notice every setback and failure while ignoring moments of success, no matter how small they are. Over time, this negative filtering creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, reinforcing your belief that success is out of reach. On the flip side, if you reprogram your subconscious mind to believe that you are worthy of success, your RAS will start filtering the world differently. It will highlight opportunities, resources, and people that align with your new mindset. It will make sure you notice the success and progress you're making, no matter how small. This shift in perception is incredibly powerful because it helps you see the world not as a place of limitation, but as a place of possibility. Let's pause here for a moment and address something important. You've probably heard motivational speakers talk about the power of positive thinking or the importance of affirmations. These things are helpful, but they are not enough by themselves. Simply listening to inspiring content or reciting affirmations without taking action is not going to transform your life. In fact, passive learning can sometimes work against you. Why? Because if you don't take consistent, deliberate action to change your subconscious programming, you're essentially reinforcing the old patterns. Your subconscious mind isn't just going to change because you read a self-help book or listened to an audiobook. It requires consistent effort, emotional intensity, and real-world action to shift the underlying beliefs that are shaping your reality. Let's put it this way. Your subconscious mind is like an old computer. It's been running the same program for years. If you want to install a new program, like a belief in your success, you need to delete the old one and install the new one through consistent practice. Just like you wouldn't expect a computer to automatically update itself without action on your part. Your subconscious mind won't automatically rewire itself unless you actively work to change it. Now, you might be wondering, how do I actually reprogram my subconscious mind? Here are some powerful tools that can help you override the limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns that have been running your life. 1. Affirmations. Positive affirmations are statements that help shift your mindset. They serve as mental rewiring tools, replacing negative beliefs with empowering ones. But the key is emotional engagement. Simply repeating, "I am confident," won't work unless you truly feel the emotion behind the words. The more emotion you attach to the affirmation, the stronger the neural pathways will be created in your brain. 2. Visualization. Visualization is another powerful tool for reprogramming your subconscious mind. When you visualize yourself succeeding, achieving your goals, or living the life you desire, your brain starts to treat those visualized experiences as if they were real. This process activates the same neural pathways as actually doing the thing, making it easier to take real-world action. To make this even more powerful, engage all your senses in your visualization. Picture what you see, feel, hear, and even smell in your visualized scenario. The more detailed and vivid the image, the more effective it will be. 3. Emotional intensity. Emotional intensity is key to rewiring your subconscious. The stronger the emotion you attach to a belief, the more likely your brain will accept it as truth. Think about how deeply emotional experiences, both positive and negative, stay with you for years. This is because the brain tends to prioritize emotionally charged events. So, when you're reprogramming your subconscious mind, make sure to feel the emotion as you visualize or repeat your affirmations. This emotional energy will reinforce the new belief, making it stick. 4. Consistency. Consistency is the secret sauce to making any of these tools work. You can't expect your mind to shift overnight. It takes time and constant reinforcement. Set aside time every day to work on reprogramming your subconscious mind. Even just a few minutes a day of focused, intentional practice can lead to dramatic changes over time. But even with these powerful tools, there's one thing that's non-negotiable: awareness. You cannot change what you don't recognize. Before you can reprogram your subconscious mind, you need to identify the limiting beliefs and negative patterns that are holding you back. This is where self-reflection becomes crucial. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about success, failure, love, and money? Do I believe I'm worthy of all the good things life has to offer? These questions will help you uncover the hidden beliefs that are shaping your reality. And once you recognize those beliefs, you can begin to challenge and replace them with new, empowering ones. This is how you start to break free from the limitations that have been running your life on autopilot. Taking control of your mind is about more than just managing your thoughts. It's about actively reshaping your beliefs, emotions, and actions to align with the life you want. The moment you take control of your subconscious mind, you begin to see the world differently. You start noticing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You feel more confident, capable, and motivated to take action toward your goals. But remember, this isn't a one-time fix. Reprogramming your mind is an ongoing process. The more you practice these techniques, the more you'll notice your old patterns breaking down and new, empowering ones taking their place. So, ask yourself this: are you ready to take control? Are you ready to rewrite the script that's been running your life for so long? Because the power to change is in your hands. It always has been. Now that we've established the immense power of your subconscious mind and how it shapes your reality, let's dive deeper into one of the most vital aspects of mastering your mind: mental resilience. This is the ability to stay strong in the face of adversity, to push through setbacks and failures without losing your sense of direction or confidence. It's what separates those who succeed from those who give up when the going gets tough. Mental resilience is the key to facing life's challenges without being defeated by them. It's not just about toughing it out or pretending to be fine. It's about developing a mindset that can handle anything life throws at you while still moving forward. But the truth is, mental resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you build. And like any muscle, it requires consistent practice to grow stronger. At its core, mental resilience is about flexibility. The flexibility to adapt and adjust your thinking and behavior in response to life's challenges. It's not about avoiding difficulty, but about learning to navigate through it with strength, clarity, and persistence. Think about the last time you faced a tough situation, whether it was a personal setback, a work-related failure, or even something as simple as a mistake you made. How did you respond? Did you bounce back quickly, or did you let the situation define you? Resilience is about how you respond to adversity, not whether or not it happens. If you want to develop mental resilience, you have to first understand that setbacks and challenges are inevitable. Life will throw curveballs your way, and the road to success is rarely smooth. But instead of seeing these challenges as roadblocks, it's essential to reframe them as opportunities for growth. Every obstacle is an opportunity to learn something new about yourself, to develop new strategies, and to strengthen your resolve. A major aspect of mental resilience is self-belief. It's the unwavering belief that no matter what happens, you have the strength to get through it. This is where reprogramming your subconscious mind comes into play. If you've spent years believing that you're not capable of handling adversity, your subconscious will direct you to avoid challenges, retreat into fear, or even self-sabotage when things get tough. But when you reprogram your subconscious to believe in your inherent ability to overcome challenges, everything changes. Self-belief is the foundation of resilience. When you believe in yourself, you become less afraid of failure. You start seeing failure as a stepping stone to success, not a permanent setback. A key tool in building self-belief is positive self-talk. The words you say to yourself have immense power over your mental state. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never make it," or "this is too hard," then your mind will internalize these thoughts and make them your truth. On the other hand, if you consistently affirm, "I am strong," "I am capable," "I can handle this," you are creating a new, empowering belief system that helps you bounce back faster when adversity strikes. The good news is that you can train your brain to be more resilient. The science of neuroplasticity shows that your brain is capable of changing and adapting based on your thoughts, experiences, and actions. In other words, you can physically rewire your brain to become more resilient by practicing certain mental exercises and habits. For example, research shows that when you engage in mindfulness meditation, you actually increase the gray matter in areas of the brain associated with emotional regulation and stress management. By practicing mindfulness, you teach your brain to stay calm under pressure rather than reacting impulsively or negatively. This is a powerful tool in building mental resilience because it helps you develop the ability to pause, reflect, and choose your response to stress, rather than allowing your emotions to control you. Another powerful technique for building resilience is cognitive reframing. This involves changing the way you interpret a situation. For example, if you experience failure, instead of thinking, "I'm a failure," you can reframe it as, I didn't succeed this time, but I learned something valuable that will help me next time. This shift in perspective not only reduces the emotional impact of failure, but also helps you maintain focus and keep moving forward. While the concepts of mental resilience and self-belief are essential, they're not enough on their own. Action is what makes the difference. It's easy to talk about resilience and self-belief, but it's when you actively practice these concepts that they become ingrained in your mindset. When you face a challenge, your immediate reaction may be to avoid it, retreat into fear, or feel overwhelmed. But the key to building resilience is to take action, no matter how small. Even if you feel afraid or unsure, take that first step. By taking action, you send a powerful message to your subconscious that you are in control of your life, and you have the power to handle whatever comes your way. The more you take action in the face of fear and uncertainty, the more you build your mental toughness. The process of pushing through fear and continuing to move forward, despite doubts and setbacks, builds resilience over time. Each time you overcome a challenge, you become stronger, more capable, and more confident in your ability to handle the next one. Let's take a look at a real-life example. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before her success, she faced countless rejections from publishers. She was a single mother, struggling to make ends meet, and she received multiple no's from publishers who didn't believe in her story. Yet, instead of giving up, Rowling pressed on. She believed in herself and her writing, and she didn't let failure stop her. Today, her books are loved by millions, and her story is a testament to the power of resilience. This story is a reminder that failure is not the end. It's part of the process. Mental resilience is about staying in the game, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. It's about finding strength in the struggle and understanding that every failure brings you one step closer to success. In life, setbacks are inevitable. Whether it's a missed opportunity, a failed project, or a personal setback, life will test your resilience. But the key to overcoming setbacks is adaptability, the ability to adjust your approach, learn from the experience, and keep moving forward. This is a skill that you can cultivate through practice. For example, if a project doesn't go as planned, instead of blaming yourself or getting stuck in frustration, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adjust my approach next time? By staying adaptable and open to learning, you can turn any setback into a valuable lesson that propels you forward. Practical tips for building mental resilience. 1. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you face failure or setbacks. Understand that everyone experiences challenges, and it's okay to not be perfect. 2. Set small goals. Break down big challenges into manageable steps. Each small victory will boost your confidence and build your mental resilience. 3. Embrace discomfort. The more you step outside of your comfort zone, the more you will grow. Resilience is built in moments of discomfort. 4. Surround yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with can either build you up or drag you down. Surround yourself with those who uplift and inspire you. In the end, mental resilience is not a fixed trait. It's a skill that anyone can develop, regardless of their background, circumstances, or past failures. By understanding how your mind works, reprogramming your beliefs, and consistently taking action, you can build unshakable resilience that will help you navigate life's challenges with confidence and strength. So, Are you ready to take control of your mental resilience? Are you ready to face adversity with strength and perseverance? Because the more you practice these principles, the stronger and more resilient you will become. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and with resilience on your side, there's no limit to what you can achieve. We've talked about the importance of mental resilience and the power of reprogramming your subconscious mind. But what's the next step in taking full control of your mind? It's time to tackle self-doubt, the silent assassin that quietly erodes your confidence, slows down your progress, and keeps you trapped in a cycle of hesitation and fear. Self-doubt is something we all experience, but it's how we deal with it that makes all the difference. Self-doubt often feels like an invisible weight, a voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that you're not capable of succeeding, or that you don't deserve what you want. It's that nagging thought that creeps in just when you're about to take action, convincing you to second-guess yourself and delay your progress. But here's the truth. Self-doubt is a lie. Self-doubt doesn't come from nowhere. It's a result of years of conditioning, experiences, and past failures that have left their mark on your subconscious mind. If you grew up in an environment where you were told you weren't good enough, or if you've experienced failure or rejection in the past, those experiences have contributed to the belief that you are somehow less capable or less deserving than others. But you don't have to stay stuck in this cycle. Just because you've doubted yourself in the past doesn't mean you have to doubt yourself in the future. Self-doubt can be rewired, just like any other limiting belief. The key to overcoming self-doubt is recognizing it for what it is, a mental pattern that no longer serves you and one that you have the power to change. Self-doubt doesn't just affect your mindset, it affects your behavior. When you doubt yourself, you start to procrastinate, hesitate, or avoid taking action altogether. You're more likely to play it safe, avoid risks, and stay inside your comfort zone, because self-doubt convinces you that the unknown is too risky or that you're not prepared for it. But here's the problem. Playing it safe doesn't lead to growth. It doesn't lead to success either. In fact, staying in your comfort zone is a recipe for stagnation. True success comes from taking risks, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and embracing the challenges that come with pursuing your dreams. When you give in to self-doubt, you reinforce the cycle of inaction. The more you hesitate and procrastinate, the more you believe you're incapable. The more you believe you're incapable, the more you avoid challenges, and the cycle continues. So, how do you overcome self-doubt? First, you need to reframe it. Instead of seeing self-doubt as an enemy, you can start viewing it as a signal that you are about to do something outside your comfort zone, something that's going to stretch your growth. Self-doubt isn't a sign that you can't succeed. It's a sign that you're about to take a step towards something better. The next time you feel self-doubt creeping in, remind yourself, this is just fear of the unknown, and it's normal. It doesn't mean you're incapable. It means you're about to challenge yourself and grow. Embrace the discomfort instead of running from it. Let self-doubt be a signal that you are on the right path. A great way to reframe self-doubt is to acknowledge it without letting it control you, rather than letting that voice in your head tell you that you're not good enough. Say something like, I feel this self-doubt because I'm doing something new. That means I'm stepping into growth, and I can handle it. Once you've reframed self-doubt, the next step is to build confidence. Confidence isn't something you either have or don't have. Confidence is something that can be developed, and it starts with small wins. Every time you take action, even when you don't feel ready, you build your confidence. Every time you challenge your self-doubt and move forward anyway, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Start with small goals that feel manageable. Maybe you're afraid of public speaking, but instead of aiming for a big presentation right away, start by speaking in front of a mirror or recording yourself giving a short speech. Then, gradually work your way up to larger audiences. Each time you take action, you'll feel more confident. Another key to building confidence is celebrating your progress. We tend to downplay our wins, but it's important to acknowledge every step forward. Did you take a difficult task head-on, even though you felt nervous? That's a win. Did you finally stop procrastinating on a project? That's a win. Every time you recognize your progress, you reinforce the belief that you are capable and confident. One of the most powerful tools for overcoming self-doubt is visualization. Visualization helps you train your brain to see yourself succeeding. When you vividly imagine yourself succeeding in a specific situation, whether it's delivering a speech, making a big decision, or even just taking action, you start to condition your mind for success. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real experience and vividly imagined experience. So, when you visualize yourself succeeding, your brain starts to create new neural pathways that make success feel more familiar. To make visualization even more effective, engage all your senses. Don't just picture the end result. Feel the emotions of success, hear the sounds, and even imagine the physical sensations of victory. The more emotionally charged your visualization is, the more your subconscious mind will accept it as reality. While visualization and reframing are powerful tools, there's one thing that trumps all of them: action. You can visualize all you want, but nothing will build confidence like taking action. When you take action, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Even if the outcome isn't perfect, you learn from the experience, which only boosts your confidence in the long run. Here's a strategy. Take one small action today that you've been putting off because of self-doubt. It could be something as simple as sending an email, making a phone call, or starting a project you've been procrastinating on. By the end of the day, you'll have proven to yourself that self-doubt doesn't control you. You control it. Fear of failure is closely tied to self-doubt. If you're afraid to fail, then you'll never take risks, and you'll never grow. But the truth is, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every successful person has failed at some point. Failure is simply feedback, showing you what didn't work and giving you the opportunity to adjust and improve. When you stop fearing failure and instead see it as an opportunity to learn, you will become more resilient and more confident. Embrace failure as part of the journey, not something to be avoided. Finally, the way you speak to yourself plays a huge role in overcoming self-doubt. Self-talk is one of the most powerful tools you have to either build or destroy your confidence. If you're constantly telling yourself you're not good enough, you will internalize that message. But if you consciously choose to speak positively to yourself, you can break the cycle of self-doubt. Here's a powerful practice. Every time you catch yourself engaging in negative self-talk, stop and replace it with something positive. For example, if you think, "I'm not capable," replace it with, "I am capable, and I have what it takes to succeed." Over time, this practice will shift your mindset and build the confidence you need to overcome self-doubt. The most important thing to remember is that self-doubt is not your truth. It's just a mental pattern you've developed over time, and it's something you have the power to change. By reframing self-doubt, building confidence through action, and practicing positive self-talk, you can break free from the cycle of self-doubt and unlock your true potential. Now, are you ready to step into your greatness? Are you ready to prove to yourself that you can accomplish anything, regardless of the doubts that try to hold you back? Because the truth is, you are capable of far more than you give yourself credit for. And it all starts with believing in yourself. Now that we've tackled the powerful concept of overcoming self-doubt, let's move on to one of the most important skills you can develop to truly control your mind: focus. Focus is often touted as the key to success. But the truth is, most of us struggle to maintain it, especially in a world filled with distractions. From our phones buzzing with notifications to the constant stream of information online, it's easy to lose track of our priorities. But if you want to achieve your goals, you must learn how to hone your focus and eliminate distractions. Let's face it, distractions are everywhere. Whether it's the endless notifications on your phone, the pressure to multitask, or simply the distractions of daily life, it's harder than ever to stay focused on one thing at a time. But here's the truth. Multitasking is a myth. Studies have shown that our brains are not capable of effectively handling multiple tasks at once. When we try to do several things at once, we're actually just switching rapidly between tasks, which leads to mistakes, stress, and decreased productivity. But the good news is, focus is a skill that you can improve with practice. And once you learn how to control your focus, you'll find that everything else in life becomes easier. You'll have more energy, make better decisions, and accomplish more in less time. So, let's break down exactly how you can sharpen your focus and eliminate distractions once and for all. Before we get into the practical strategies for improving your focus, let's first understand how the brain works when it comes to attention. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, planning, and focus, is constantly being bombarded with information. But the problem is, your brain isn't designed to handle all of this input at once. When you try to focus on multiple things, your brain becomes overloaded, and your attention suffers as a result. This is where the concept of cognitive overload comes in. Cognitive overload happens when the brain is forced to juggle too much information at once. The result? You start to lose focus, make mistakes, and feel mentally exhausted. The key to avoiding this is to focus on one thing at a time. By doing so, you allow your prefrontal cortex to operate at full capacity, and your focus becomes sharper. Another reason why staying focused is so difficult in today's world is because of dopamine, the brain's feel-good neurotransmitter. Dopamine is released when we experience something pleasurable, like eating a delicious meal or receiving a like on social media. The problem is, dopamine is also released when we experience distractions. Every time you check your phone, your brain gets a small hit of dopamine, which makes it hard to resist the urge to keep checking, scrolling, or switching tasks. This creates a cycle of constant distraction. Every time you indulge in a distraction, your brain gets another burst of dopamine, reinforcing the behavior. Over time, your brain becomes wired to seek out these distractions, making it harder to focus on anything for an extended period of time. But here's the good news. You can retrain your brain. You can break the cycle of constant distraction by consciously choosing to focus on a single task and resisting the pull of distractions. This process is called delayed gratification, and it's one of the most important skills for mastering your focus. How to improve your focus. Practical strategies. 1. The Pomodoro Technique. One of the most effective ways to improve focus is to break your work into small, manageable chunks. The Pomodoro Technique involves working for 25 minutes straight, followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 25-minute sessions, you take a longer break of 15-30 minutes. This method helps you maintain peak focus during work periods, while also giving your brain the rest it needs to stay sharp. The Pomodoro Technique works because it uses time constraints to eliminate distractions. Knowing that you only have 25 minutes to work allows you to stay fully engaged in the task at hand. The breaks provide an opportunity to rest your brain, recharge, and return to work with renewed focus. 2. Set clear intentions. Before you start any task, take a moment to set a clear intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish in this session? By defining your goal up front, you make it easier to stay on track. This helps your brain focus on the task at hand and filter out irrelevant distractions. Clear intentions also help you prioritize what's most important. When you have a clear understanding of your goals, you're less likely to get distracted by things that don't serve your purpose. 3. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment. When you're mindful, you're not thinking about what happened in the past or what might happen in the future. You're completely focused on the task at hand. To practice mindfulness, start by paying attention to your breath. Whenever you feel your mind start to wander, gently bring your focus back to your breath or the task at hand. Over time, this practice will strengthen your ability to concentrate and stay focused. 4. Eliminate distractions. This one might seem obvious, but it's crucial to create an environment that supports focus. Turn off notifications on your phone, close unnecessary browser tabs, and create a dedicated workspace where you can focus on your tasks without interruptions. The more you can eliminate distractions, the easier it will be to maintain focus. Also, consider using focus-enhancing apps like Forest, Freedom, or Focus at Will. These tools help block distracting websites, limit screen time, and create an environment conducive to concentration. 5. Take care of your body. Your physical health directly impacts your ability to focus. If you're tired, hungry, or stressed, it's much harder to concentrate on anything. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating nutritious meals, and exercising regularly. Physical exercise, in particular, has been shown to improve cognitive function and mental clarity. When you take care of your body, your brain will have the energy and resources it needs to stay focused for longer periods of time. As important as focus is, it's also essential to remember that rest is equally important. Many people fall into the trap of thinking they need to be constantly busy and productive to succeed. But the truth is, rest is necessary for productivity. Your brain can only sustain intense focus for so long before it becomes fatigued. That's why it's essential to schedule regular breaks throughout your day. Whether it's a quick walk, a power nap, or simply some quiet time to recharge. Breaks help your brain rest and recover, so you can return to work with renewed energy and focus. The ability to focus is directly tied to your success. Think about it. Successful people don't constantly jump from one thing to another. They stay focused on their goals, take consistent action, and block out distractions. They understand that achieving big goals requires sustained effort and concentration over time. But focus isn't just about working hard. It's about working smart. It's about prioritizing your time and energy toward the things that truly matter. When you develop the skill of focus, you stop wasting time on unimportant tasks, and you begin to maximize your efforts toward achieving your goals. To wrap this up, mastering your focus is one of the most critical skills you can develop on your journey toward success. In a world full of distractions, learning to focus on one task at a time is the key to achieving your goals and reaching your full potential. The ability to focus is the difference between achieving your dreams and being distracted by the endless noise of life. Remember, focus is a skill. It's something you can improve with practice and intention. By using strategies like the Pomodoro technique, setting clear intentions, practicing mindfulness, and eliminating distractions, you can enhance your ability to concentrate and make real progress toward your goals. But don't forget, balance is important. Rest and recovery are just as crucial to success as focus itself. Are you ready to take control of your focus and stop letting distractions rule your life? Because when you master focus, everything else falls into place. We've just uncovered how vital focus is in mastering your mind. But there's another key element to becoming the person you want to be, and that is mental discipline. Mental discipline is the foundation of personal growth, and it's something that everyone can cultivate. It's about making choices that align with your values and goals, even when you don't feel like it. It's about sticking to your plan, regardless of how tempting distractions may be. Mental discipline is not about willpower alone. It's about creating systems, habits, and routines that empower you to make the right decisions and push forward when the going gets tough. With the right mental discipline, you can achieve anything because discipline allows you to overcome obstacles, stay on track, and keep going even when things aren't going your way. So, how do you develop mental discipline? Let's dive in. Have you ever set a goal, felt excited about it, but then found yourself losing motivation after a few days or weeks? This is where mental discipline comes in. Without discipline, motivation alone won't get you far. Motivation can be fleeting. It's often inspired by external factors. But discipline comes from within. Mental discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's the difference between those who make progress and those who fall off track. When you develop mental discipline, you can stick to your commitments, finish what you start, and stay focused on the big picture, even when it's hard. How to develop mental discipline. 1. Start small and build up. You don't need to overhaul your entire life to develop mental discipline. In fact, starting small is the best way to build momentum. If you try to take on too much at once, you'll quickly burn out. Instead, start with 1 or 2 areas where you want to improve, whether it's exercising more consistently, reading daily, or sticking to a study schedule. By making small, manageable changes to your routine, you gradually build up the mental discipline to handle bigger challenges. Every small victory you achieve strengthens your discipline, and over time, those victories add up. 2. Create a routine. One of the most effective ways to develop mental discipline is to create a daily routine. When you have a set routine, you don't have to rely on willpower to make decisions, because the decisions are already made for you. For example, if you know that you will wake up, exercise, eat a healthy breakfast, and start working at the same time every day, it becomes automatic. Your mind doesn't have to make decisions about whether or not to work out, or whether you should eat healthy. It just becomes a part of your day. Routines are powerful because they eliminate the need for constant decision-making, which can drain your mental energy. With a solid routine, mental discipline becomes effortless because the actions you need to take are already programmed into your day. 3. Set clear goals and stick to them. When you don't have clear goals, it's easy to get distracted or lose sight of what you're working toward. That's why it's essential to set clear, actionable goals that align with your larger vision. Write your goals down, break them into smaller tasks, and hold yourself accountable. Here's the key: commitment. Once you've set your goals, follow through. It's easy to start strong, but the real test of mental discipline is continuing, even when you don't feel like it. If you've committed to a goal, keep your promises to yourself. Every time you set a goal or commit to a new routine, resistance will show up. This is the voice in your head that says, "It's too hard," or "You can do it tomorrow." Resistance can be powerful, but the key to overcoming it is recognizing it for what it is: a test. Your resistance is not an indication that you're not capable. It's just a sign that you're about to do something new and unfamiliar. Here's where mental discipline comes in. When resistance shows up, you have two choices. You can give in to the temptation to quit, or you can push through. Pushing through resistance is what separates those who succeed from those who fail. The best way to break through resistance is to make the task easier to start. For example, if you don't feel like working out, put on your workout clothes and do just 10 minutes. Usually, once you get started, the resistance fades, and you'll end up going for a longer workout. If you don't feel like writing that paper, start by writing just one paragraph. Action breaks resistance. Consistency is the true key to mastering mental discipline. It's not enough to have discipline for 1 week or 1 month. You need consistent action over time to make mental discipline a lasting part of your life. Let's take exercise as an example. You might start off strong, working out every day for a few weeks. But if you don't make exercise a consistent part of your routine, you'll fall off track, and the habit will fade. The key to building lasting mental discipline is to make small improvements every day and ensure that those improvements become a part of your lifestyle. Consistency is what will turn a good habit into an automatic part of your routine. The more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes, and soon enough, it will feel effortless. Let's be real. No journey toward success is without setbacks. There will be moments when you fail, when you don't meet your expectations, or when life throws curveballs at you. The key to maintaining mental discipline during these setbacks is understanding that failure is part of the process. In fact, failure is often a stepping stone to success. It provides valuable lessons that can help you grow. So, instead of seeing failure as a defeat, view it as an opportunity to learn and get better. Reframe failure in your mind so that it becomes a necessary part of your journey. The best way to handle setbacks is to stay focused on your long-term vision. When you encounter obstacles, remind yourself of your ultimate goals and the reasons why you started in the first place. Each setback is a temporary challenge, not a permanent roadblock. Building mental discipline is a daily commitment. It's about making the decision every day to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Whether it's sticking to a workout routine, keeping your focus on your studies, or pushing through the temptation to procrastinate. Mental discipline is what will make you successful. Start by committing to small daily habits, building them into your routine. Then, gradually increase the level of discipline required. Over time, these small actions will build the mental strength you need to tackle bigger challenges and achieve your goals. Mental discipline is one of the most important skills you can cultivate. It's what allows you to stick with your goals, overcome obstacles, and keep pushing forward even when things get tough. It's about making choices that align with your values and priorities, even when it feels difficult or uncomfortable. With mental discipline, you will gain the ability to control your mind, stay focused on your goals, and make consistent progress, no matter what challenges come your way. And remember, mental discipline is not a one-time fix. It's a lifelong practice that you can continuously improve upon. And the more you practice it, the more natural it will feel. Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Are you ready to build the mental discipline you need to succeed? Because the moment you commit to mental discipline, everything changes. You're not just chasing success anymore. You're becoming the person who makes success inevitable. Now that we've covered the importance of focus and mental discipline, let's dive into an essential aspect of mastering your mind: emotional control. Emotions are a powerful force in our lives. They can inspire us to take bold action or hold us back in fear. Whether it's anger, fear, sadness, or joy, emotions can sometimes seem like they're controlling us. But the truth is, you can take control of your emotions. And when you do, you gain the ability to navigate life's challenges with clarity and confidence. Emotions can be our greatest asset, but only if we learn how to manage them effectively. The more control you have over your emotions, the less likely they are to dictate your actions. Instead of reacting impulsively to situations, you'll be able to respond with intention. You'll make better decisions, create healthier relationships, and keep moving toward your goals, no matter what happens. So, let's break down exactly how to master emotional control. Emotions are not inherently bad. In fact, they're crucial to human experience. They are signals, telling us something important about ourselves or the world around us. But when emotions are left unchecked, they can overwhelm us. Unchecked emotions can cloud our judgment, make us act impulsively, and leave us feeling like we're constantly at the mercy of our feelings. The key to emotional control isn't to suppress your emotions or ignore them. It's about understanding and managing them so that they work for you, not against you. Emotions are information. They tell us what's important to us and what we value. The problem arises when we let emotions take over, dictating our behavior rather than guiding it. The first step to emotional control is awareness. You cannot control your emotions if you're not aware of them. So, the next time you feel an intense emotion, whether it's anger, sadness, or fear, take a moment to pause and check in with yourself. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What triggered this emotion? Emotional awareness is the foundation of emotional control. When you're aware of what's happening inside of you, you're better equipped to make conscious choices about how to respond. If you don't take the time to understand your emotions, you risk being swept away by them, reacting impulsively, or making decisions that you might later regret. One of the most powerful tools in managing your emotions is self-talk. The way you talk to yourself in emotional moments can either escalate or calm your emotions. If you tell yourself, "I can't handle this," or "this is too much for me," you're reinforcing the emotional intensity. On the other hand, if you say, "I can handle this," or "I've faced tough situations before and I came out stronger," you're shifting your mindset to a more positive and empowering place. Your inner dialogue shapes your emotional experience. The words you use have the power to either calm you down or escalate your feelings. So, when you're experiencing strong emotions, pause for a moment and choose words that help you stay grounded. Positive affirmations and empowering self-talk can be incredibly helpful in these moments. Another effective strategy for emotional control is reframing your thoughts. Often, our emotions are based on how we interpret a situation. For example, if you receive constructive criticism, you could interpret it as a sign of failure, causing frustration and self-doubt. Or, you could reframe it as an opportunity to learn and grow, which will make you feel more empowered and motivated. By changing how you interpret events, you change your emotional response. Reframing allows you to take control of your emotions instead of letting your emotions dictate your reaction. This is one of the most powerful tools for managing stress, overcoming anxiety, and staying calm in difficult situations. Practical strategies for emotional control. 1. Pause and breathe. When you feel your emotions intensifying, take a pause. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and center yourself. This gives your mind a chance to reset and shift out of a reactive state. By taking a few deep breaths, you allow your nervous system to calm down and regain control. 2. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment. When you practice mindfulness, you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings, which gives you the ability to manage them. Try incorporating mindfulness exercises into your daily routine, such as focusing on your breath, paying attention to your body, or simply observing your thoughts without judgment. 3. Label your emotions. One simple yet powerful technique for emotional control is to label your emotions. When you feel an intense emotion, name it. Say to yourself, "I'm feeling angry," "I'm feeling frustrated," or "I'm feeling anxious." This simple act of labeling can help you detach from the emotion and gain a sense of control. It helps you become an observer of your emotions rather than a victim of them. 4. Shift your focus. If you find yourself caught in negative emotional spirals, try shifting your focus to something positive or neutral. Redirect your attention to something you're grateful for or something that brings you joy. This helps break the emotional momentum and allows you to regain your emotional balance. 5. Take action. Emotions can feel overwhelming, but taking action is one of the most effective ways to break free from them. When you feel anxious or stressed, take a small, positive action that moves you toward your goals. This could be as simple as writing down your thoughts, making a to-do list, or reaching out to a friend. Taking action helps you regain a sense of control and reduces emotional intensity. One of the keys to emotional control is emotional resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and maintain your emotional balance in the face of challenges. Life is unpredictable, and emotional turbulence is inevitable. But the more resilient you become, the better you can handle the emotional ups and downs of life without getting derailed. Emotional resilience is built over time, and it requires practice. One of the best ways to build resilience is by embracing discomfort. The more you expose yourself to challenging situations and learn to manage your emotions, the stronger your emotional resilience becomes. Whether it's handling a difficult conversation, facing rejection, or dealing with a stressful work situation, each challenge is an opportunity to develop your emotional strength. When you can control your emotions, you gain mental clarity. Your emotions are no longer clouding your judgment, and you can make better decisions. Emotional control allows you to step back from a situation and think clearly, rather than reacting impulsively based on fear, anger, or frustration. Mental clarity is crucial for effective decision-making, problem-solving, and goal-setting. When you're calm and centered, you can think more strategically and act with intention. You're no longer driven by your emotional impulses, but by your higher reasoning. So, what are the benefits of emotional control? When you master your emotions, you'll experience improved relationships. You'll be better equipped to communicate effectively, handle conflicts calmly, and empathize with others. Better decision-making. You'll make more thoughtful, rational decisions, rather than impulsive or reactive ones. Increased resilience. You'll bounce back more quickly from setbacks and face challenges with confidence. Enhanced well-being. You'll experience less stress and anxiety, and you'll feel more in control of your life. Mastering your emotions is one of the most empowering skills you can develop. When you take control of your emotions, you regain control of your life. You stop being at the mercy of your feelings, and you start to respond to situations with intention, rather than react out of impulse. Emotional control allows you to think clearly, make better decisions, and stay focused on your goals, no matter what life throws your way. Are you ready to take charge of your emotions? Are you ready to stop letting fear, anger, or frustration dictate your actions? Because when you learn to control your emotions, you unlock a whole new level of potential. Your emotions are a tool. When used correctly, they can propel you toward your goals and help you live a life of clarity, peace, and success. We've explored emotional control and mental discipline, but one last critical element of mastering your mind is understanding procrastination. We've all faced it. You know the feeling. You have a goal or task that needs to be done, but you keep putting it off. Whether it's because the task feels too overwhelming, too boring, or just too uncomfortable. Procrastination gets in the way of progress, and it can be frustrating to deal with. But here's the good news. Procrastination is not a permanent condition. It's a habit that can be changed. Procrastination may seem like a force you can't control, but the truth is, it's rooted in the same mindset patterns that cause self-doubt and distraction. By understanding why we procrastinate and learning how to break the cycle, we can unlock the power to take consistent, productive action and move toward our goals faster. The first step in overcoming procrastination is understanding why it happens in the first place. Procrastination is often a defense mechanism. It's a way our mind tries to protect us from stress, failure, or fear of the unknown. If a task feels too overwhelming or intimidating, our subconscious mind might steer us away from it by making us feel like we're too busy or distracted. This is the mind's way of avoiding the discomfort of facing a challenging task. But here's the catch. The longer you put off a task, the more anxiety and stress it generates. The longer you avoid doing something, the more it builds up in your mind. Procrastination creates a cycle of delayed action, which often leads to feelings of guilt and shame, making the task feel even harder to face. The key to breaking the cycle of procrastination is realizing that avoiding the task will never make it go away. The only way to reduce the stress and anxiety associated with procrastination is to take action, no matter how small. Another reason we procrastinate is fear of failure. When a task feels too big, too important, or too challenging, we might fear that we won't succeed. This fear of failure often leads to a paralyzing sense of perfectionism, where we feel like we can't start the task unless everything is perfect. Perfectionism is a trap. It convinces you that you need to get everything exactly right before you take action. But the truth is, no one has ever achieved perfection. The pursuit of perfection is an illusion that keeps you stuck. The more you chase perfection, the more you delay action, and the more you avoid making progress. The key to overcoming this fear and perfectionism is to adopt the mindset of progress over perfection. Understand that taking imperfect action is far better than waiting until everything is just right. You can always refine and improve along the way. But the most important thing is to get started. Breaking the procrastination cycle. Practical strategies. 1. The 5-minute rule. One of the simplest and most effective ways to overcome procrastination is to use the 5-minute rule. The idea is simple. If you're dreading a task, commit to doing it for just 5 minutes. This small commitment can make the task feel more manageable and less intimidating. Often, once you get started, you'll find that you can keep going well beyond the initial 5 minutes. The key is just to start. 2. Set clear, achievable goals. Procrastination often occurs when a task feels too overwhelming. To avoid this, break the task into smaller, more manageable goals. For example, if you're writing a report, instead of focusing on the entire report, set a goal to write just the introduction. Once that's done, move on to the next section. By breaking your goals into small chunks, you make the task feel less daunting and easier to tackle. 3. Eliminate distractions. Distractions are the enemy of productivity, and they're one of the main reasons why we procrastinate. If you're constantly checking your phone, scrolling through social media, or getting sidetracked by other tasks, it's no wonder you're not getting your work done. To combat this, create a distraction-free environment. Turn off notifications, close irrelevant tabs on your computer, and create a dedicated workspace that is free from interruptions. 4. Use time blocks. One of the most effective ways to stay on track is to schedule specific time blocks for your tasks. When you set aside dedicated time to work, it helps eliminate the temptation to procrastinate. You can use techniques like the Pomodoro technique or simple time blocks, e.g., 60 minutes for deep work, followed by a 10-minute break, to structure your day and stay focused. 5. Reward yourself for taking action. To make the process of overcoming procrastination more enjoyable, reward yourself when you take action. Whether it's a small treat after completing a task or taking a break to relax once you've made progress, rewards help reinforce positive behavior. The key is to celebrate the small wins, which will build momentum and keep you motivated to continue. 6. Visualize success. Another effective strategy is to visualize the successful completion of the task. Picture yourself finishing it, feeling accomplished, and reaping the rewards of your hard work. Visualization can be a powerful motivator, as it helps you focus on the positive outcomes instead of the stress or discomfort of starting the task. It's important to remember that procrastination is not a character flaw. It's a habit that many of us fall into, and it's something that can be changed. The key is not to beat yourself up when you procrastinate. Self-compassion is crucial in this process. Instead of criticizing yourself for procrastinating, be kind to yourself and recognize that you're human. Give yourself the grace to start again and move forward. When you practice self-compassion, you're less likely to fall into the trap of guilt and shame, which can only fuel the cycle of procrastination. Instead of being hard on yourself, acknowledge the challenge and refocus on taking consistent action toward your goals. The hardest part of any task is often getting started. But once you take action, you build momentum, and things become easier. Momentum is a powerful force. It's what keeps you moving forward once you've taken the first step. The more you act, the more you want to act. So, the key to overcoming procrastination is to build momentum. Once you begin a task, keep going, even if it feels slow at first. Keep building on your progress. The more you take consistent action, the easier it will be to stay on track. Over time, you'll find that procrastination becomes less and less of an obstacle because you'll be in the habit of taking action regularly. Procrastination doesn't have to control your life. By understanding the psychology behind it and implementing simple strategies, you can break free from the cycle of delay and self-sabotage. The key is taking small actions, being kind to yourself, and building the mental discipline to stay focused on your goals. Remember, the only way to overcome procrastination is to act. The longer you wait, the more anxiety and stress you create. So, commit to taking one small step today, and tomorrow, take another one. Over time, you'll find that the more action you take, the less you procrastinate. Are you ready to stop letting procrastination hold you back? Because the moment you decide to take action, everything changes. You have the power to overcome procrastination. And when you do, you'll see how much more you can achieve. Now that we've tackled procrastination, let's shift our focus to another key element in mastering your mind: self-doubt. Self-doubt is something we all experience at some point in our lives, whether it's questioning our abilities, feeling inadequate, or fearing that we're not good enough. It can paralyze us, prevent us from taking action, and stop us from achieving our goals. But here's the thing. Self-doubt doesn't have to define you. In fact, it can be a powerful catalyst for growth, if you know how to handle it. The truth is, self-doubt is a natural part of the human experience. It's an emotion that everyone faces, from the most successful entrepreneurs to the most confident athletes. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is how they handle self-doubt. While most people let self-doubt hold them back, the people who thrive use it as fuel to grow and push forward. So, how do you stop self-doubt from controlling your life and start using it to your advantage? Let's break it down. Self-doubt often stems from a deep-seated fear of failure or a fear of judgment. We worry that if we try and fail, we'll be seen as inadequate or unworthy. These fears can be traced back to early experiences, where we may have been criticized, rejected, or told that we weren't good enough. These negative experiences become ingrained in our subconscious, and as we grow older, we carry those beliefs with us. In other words, self-doubt is learned, not innate. It's not something we're born with. It's something that develops over time based on our experiences and the messages we receive from the world around us. Once we understand that self-doubt is a learned behavior, we can begin to unlearn it and replace it with healthier, more empowering thoughts. Self-doubt doesn't just affect how we see ourselves. It also affects how we interact with the world. When we doubt our abilities, we tend to hold back from opportunities, whether it's a promotion at work, a new relationship, or a personal project. We hesitate, question ourselves, and second-guess our decisions. This not only limits our growth, but also creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, where we stay stuck because we're too afraid to take action. Self-doubt can also create mental barriers that prevent us from reaching our full potential. It can cloud our judgment, make us more susceptible to fear, and cause us to procrastinate. The more we allow self-doubt to influence our decisions, the more we build a cycle of inaction. The key to breaking this cycle is to recognize self-doubt for what it is, a temporary feeling, not a permanent truth. How to overcome self-doubt. Practical strategies. 1. Challenge negative beliefs. The first step in overcoming self-doubt is to challenge the negative beliefs that fuel it. When you find yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," ask yourself, is this belief actually true? More often than not, the answer will be no. These beliefs are based on past experiences, not on the reality of your abilities. The more you challenge these thoughts, the less power they'll have over you. To break free from negative self-talk, ask yourself questions like, what evidence do I have that contradicts this thought? How many times have I succeeded in the past? What would I tell a friend who is struggling with the same doubt? This helps you reframe your thoughts and start seeing your abilities in a new light. 2. Focus on your strengths instead of dwelling on your weaknesses. Take the time to focus on your strengths. Make a list of your accomplishments, talents, and things you're good at. Remind yourself of the times when you've succeeded, even when you thought you couldn't. This helps shift your perspective from a place of insecurity to one of confidence. You can also keep a success journal where you write down your achievements, no matter how small. Whenever self-doubt creeps in, look back at this journal as a reminder of what you've already accomplished. 3. Visualize success. Visualization is a powerful tool for overcoming self-doubt. When you visualize yourself succeeding, your mind begins to believe that success is possible. The more vividly you imagine yourself achieving your goals, the less doubt you'll have about your ability to make it happen. Start by closing your eyes and imagining the outcome you desire. Picture yourself confidently completing a task, succeeding in a project, or achieving your dream. Imagine how it feels to succeed. Feel the pride, the joy, and the sense of accomplishment. This mental rehearsal will help build your confidence and reduce self-doubt. 4. Take small, consistent actions. One of the best ways to build confidence and combat self-doubt is to take small actions that push you out of your comfort zone. Often, self-doubt paralyzes us because we focus on the end result instead of the process. When we think about the entire task ahead, it can feel overwhelming. But if you break the task down into smaller, manageable steps, you'll feel more in control and less intimidated. Start with one small action that you can take toward your goal. It doesn't matter how small it is. What matters is that you take action. Every small step you take builds your confidence and reduces self-doubt. And over time, these actions will accumulate into significant progress. 5. Embrace failure as a learning experience. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. The most successful people in the world have experienced failure at some point, but they don't let it define them. Instead, they use failure as a learning opportunity. When you embrace failure, you stop fearing it, and it loses its power over you. The key is to fail forward, learn from your mistakes, adjust your approach, and keep going. Remember, failure is feedback. It's not a sign that you're not good enough. It's a sign that you're growing, learning, and evolving. 6. Surround yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with can have a significant impact on your confidence and self-belief. Surround yourself with those who encourage and uplift you, rather than those who bring you down or feed your self-doubt. Seek out mentors, friends, and communities that support your growth and remind you of your potential. It's also helpful to limit exposure to negative influences, whether that's people, social media, or situations that feed into your insecurities. Focus on building relationships with individuals who see your potential and push you to become your best self. At the core of overcoming self-doubt is self-belief. Self-belief is the foundation of everything. When you believe in yourself, you unlock your potential and gain the courage to take bold action, even when fear and doubt try to hold you back. Self-belief doesn't mean you think you're perfect. It means you trust that you have the resources and resilience to handle whatever challenges come your way. Building self-belief is a process, but it starts with one key shift. Believe in your ability to learn, grow, and adapt. Trust that even if you don't know everything now, you have the capacity to figure things out. Confidence comes from competence, and competence comes from taking consistent action and learning from each step you take. Self-doubt doesn't have to be an obstacle that holds you back. By recognizing it as a natural part of the growth process, you can begin to transform it into a powerful force for personal development. With the right strategies, challenging negative beliefs, focusing on your strengths, visualizing success, taking action, and embracing failure, you can break free from self-doubt and achieve your goals. Remember, self-doubt is not a reflection of your abilities, but rather a signal that you're pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. Embrace it, use it as motivation, and keep moving forward. Because when you believe in yourself, nothing can stand in your way. Are you ready to stop letting self-doubt control your life? Because when you choose self-belief over self-doubt, everything changes. The moment you decide to trust yourself, you step into a life of limitless possibility. Now that we've discussed self-doubt and how to overcome it, let's dive into another critical component of mental mastery: the art of goal setting. We all have goals, whether they're related to our career, personal development, health, or relationships. However, setting goals is only the first step. To truly achieve success, you need to master the process of goal setting and goal achievement. Setting goals without a clear action plan or purpose is like embarking on a journey without a map. You might start with enthusiasm, but eventually, you'll lose your way, get distracted, or give up. To succeed, you need to approach goal setting with a strategic mindset and a clear roadmap. The good news? Goal setting is a skill, and like any other skill, it can be developed and refined over time. So, let's break down the art of goal setting and how to turn your dreams into tangible results. The first step in mastering the art of goal setting is clarity. A goal without clarity is just a vague wish. If you want to achieve something, you need to be crystal clear about what that thing is. Ask yourself, what exactly do I want to achieve? Whether it's earning a specific amount of money, reaching a fitness milestone, or building a business, you need to know exactly where you're headed. When your goals are clear, they become more actionable. You can break them down into smaller steps and track your progress. Clarity helps you focus on the right things and ensures that you don't waste time or energy on tasks that don't align with your ultimate goal. The more specific you can be, the better. Instead of setting a vague goal, like, I want to be healthier, make it specific. I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 3 months by exercising for 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and eating a balanced diet. This goal is measurable, actionable, and realistic, key components of an effective goal. One of the best tools for goal setting is the SMART criteria. This stands for specific. Your goal should be clear and specific. Measurable. You need to track your progress and know when you've achieved your goal. Achievable. Your goal should be realistic and attainable. Relevant. Your goal should matter to you and align with your values. Time-bound. Set a deadline for achieving your goal. Using the SMART framework ensures that your goals are well-defined and actionable. Instead of setting a vague goal like, "I want to be successful," a SMART goal might look like, "I will increase my sales by 20% in the next 6 months by improving my marketing strategies and reaching out to 10 potential clients per week." Setting goals is important, but without consistent action, they remain unachieved dreams. Too often, people set big, ambitious goals, but fail to follow through with the necessary steps to make them a reality. This is where discipline and mental control come into play. One of the most common reasons people fail to achieve their goals is because they don't break them down into actionable steps. They focus only on the end result and fail to realize that success is a journey, not a destination. Instead of just thinking about your goal in broad terms, break it down into smaller tasks or milestones. For example, if your goal is to write a book, instead of focusing on writing a book, break it down into chapters, outlines, research, and daily word counts. Consistency is what transforms your goals into achievements. Without consistency, you'll start with enthusiasm, but eventually lose momentum. The key to staying consistent is creating systems and habits that support your goals. When you consistently show up and take action, you build momentum, which makes it easier to continue making progress. But how do you stay consistent, even when motivation wanes? Commitment. Motivation comes and goes, but commitment to your goal is what keeps you going when things get tough. You need to remind yourself why you set this goal in the first place. What's the bigger purpose behind it? What's driving you to take action, even when it feels difficult? By anchoring your goals in deep purpose, you create a source of internal motivation that doesn't rely on external factors. Along the way, you will face obstacles. That's inevitable. The road to success is rarely a straight line. You will face setbacks, failures, and distractions. The most important thing is to persevere. Resilience is about continuing to move forward, even when things aren't going according to plan. When you encounter challenges, don't see them as roadblocks. Instead, see them as opportunities for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adjust my strategy to keep moving forward? Resilience is about adaptability, being flexible enough to adjust your approach, but committed enough to keep going. Your mindset plays a crucial role in whether or not you'll achieve your goals. If you approach your goals with a fixed mindset, believing that your abilities are limited or that success is out of your reach, you're setting yourself up for failure. But if you adopt a growth mindset, believing that your abilities can be developed with effort and persistence, you'll be far more likely to succeed. A growth mindset encourages you to embrace challenges, learn from criticism, and see effort as a path to mastery. It helps you stay motivated and focused, even when things get tough. A growth mindset is about embracing progress, not perfection. Remember that no one achieves their goals overnight, and it's okay to make mistakes along the way. What matters is staying committed and learning from every experience. Accountability is another powerful tool for achieving your goals. When you have someone to hold you accountable, whether it's a friend, mentor, or coach, you're far more likely to stay on track. Accountability provides external motivation and helps you stay committed, especially when things get challenging. Share your goals with someone you trust and ask them to check in with you regularly. Tell them what steps you'll take to reach your goal, and then ask them to hold you accountable. Knowing that someone else is watching will give you an extra push to keep going, even when motivation dips. As you progress toward your goals, it's important to review and adjust them regularly. This allows you to track your progress and ensure that you're staying on the right path. If something isn't working, or if your circumstances change, don't be afraid to adjust your plan. Sometimes, you'll discover that your goals were too ambitious, too vague, or no longer align with your values. That's okay. Adjusting your goals doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're staying flexible and adaptable, which is key to long-term success. Mastering the art of goal setting is an ongoing process. Setting clear, actionable goals, breaking them down into manageable steps, and staying consistent are the keys to turning your dreams into reality. But perhaps the most important lesson is that goal achievement is a journey, not a destination. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. But with perseverance, resilience, and the right mindset, you can achieve anything. Are you ready to set goals that truly reflect your potential? Are you ready to take the action necessary to make them a reality? Because the moment you commit to your goals with clarity, discipline, and resilience, everything changes. You're not just pursuing success. You're becoming the person who makes success inevitable. Now that we've explored the importance of goal setting and overcoming self-doubt, it's time to tackle a powerful tool that can accelerate your mental mastery: visualization. The mind is an incredible thing, capable of creating vivid images and experiences in your thoughts. These mental images can have a profound effect on your reality. Visualization is not just a motivational tool. It's a technique used by successful individuals across various fields, from athletes to entrepreneurs, to enhance performance, improve focus, and achieve their goals. Visualization taps into the power of the subconscious mind, using mental imagery to reshape the way we perceive ourselves and our goals. When used correctly, it can create a positive feedback loop, where the mind's eye sees success before it physically happens, and the body follows suit. So, how can you harness the power of visualization to transform your life and reach your potential? Let's dive into the process. At its core, visualization involves creating a mental image of a desired outcome. The idea is that when you vividly imagine achieving a goal or performing a task successfully, your brain treats it as though it's happening in real life. This phenomenon is rooted in neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself and form new neural pathways based on experience. When you visualize success, your brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with that success, making it easier to achieve. But visualization goes beyond just seeing an image in your mind. It involves engaging all of your senses: sight, sound, touch, smell, and even taste. The more emotionally intense and realistic the visualization is, the more powerful it becomes. This is why Olympic athletes often use visualization to prepare for competitions. They mentally rehearse the entire performance, feeling the emotions and sensations as if it's happening in real time. Studies have shown that visualization can improve motor skills, increase confidence, and even reduce stress. When you visualize yourself performing a task or achieving a goal, your brain activates the same areas that would be activated if you were physically doing it. In essence, you are training your brain to believe that what you're visualizing is real, which makes it easier to manifest. One key concept in visualization is mental rehearsal. Just as athletes rehearse their performances before they step onto the field, you can rehearse your future success in your mind. The more frequently you practice this mental rehearsal, the more likely it is that you'll see tangible results in the real world. How to practice visualization for maximum impact. 1. Find a quiet space. To begin, find a quiet, distraction-free space where you can sit comfortably. You want to be able to focus entirely on your thoughts without any external interruptions. 2. Close your eyes and relax. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Relax your body and let go of any tension. Clear your mind of distractions and focus on the task at hand. 3. Visualize your goal. Imagine your goal in vivid detail. Picture yourself achieving it, whether it's completing a project, getting the promotion, or running a successful business. See yourself performing at your best, confident and successful. Feel the emotions of pride, joy, and accomplishment as if it's happening right now. 4. Engage your senses. To make your visualization more powerful, engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What can you touch, smell, or taste? The more sensory details you incorporate, the more your brain will accept the visualization as real. 5. Visualize the process, not just the outcome. While visualizing the end result is important, it's also crucial to visualize the process. Imagine yourself taking the necessary steps to achieve your goal. What actions are you taking? What challenges do you overcome? This helps you stay grounded and prepares you for the obstacles that may arise. 6. Add emotion. The key to powerful visualization is emotion. As you visualize, immerse yourself in the feelings of success and achievement. Feel the pride of completing your task, the joy of hitting your milestone, and the excitement of achieving your goal. Emotions strengthen the mental images and make them more real. 7. Repeat regularly. Like any skill, visualization requires practice. The more you do it, the more effective it becomes. Aim to practice daily, even if it's just for 5 to 10 minutes. Over time, your brain will begin to see these visualizations as real, and you'll start to notice positive changes in your behavior and confidence. One of the most powerful ways visualization can help you is by boosting your confidence. When you visualize success, you mentally rehearse being confident and capable. This strengthens your self-belief and reduces self-doubt. The more you visualize yourself succeeding, the more your subconscious mind will start to believe it's not just possible, but inevitable. Your brain will begin to align your thoughts, behaviors, and actions with this new reality. The result? More confidence to take action and the courage to pursue your goals fearlessly. Another powerful use of visualization is for overcoming fear and anxiety, whether it's fear of failure, fear of judgment, or general anxiety. Visualization can help you reframe your fears and turn them into something you can control. When you visualize yourself facing a fearful situation, whether it's speaking in public, asking for a raise, or going for a job interview, picture yourself handling the situation with calm, confidence, and poise. As you mentally rehearse success in these scenarios, your fear will begin to diminish. Visualization is a form of mental rehearsal that prepares you for real-life challenges. By imagining yourself succeeding in a situation that typically causes anxiety, you reduce the emotional charge around the event, making it feel more manageable when it happens. The ultimate goal of visualization is to help you take consistent action toward your goals. While visualization helps you create a mental picture of success, it's still essential to take the physical steps required to make that success a reality. Visualization is the mental preparation, while action is the physical manifestation. Visualization serves as a tool to help you stay focused on your goals, keep you motivated, and reduce the doubts that can derail your progress. When you combine the mental power of visualization with the physical effort of action, you'll see real results. In the face of challenges, visualization can be an invaluable tool for building resilience. It helps you see obstacles as temporary setbacks, rather than permanent roadblocks. By visualizing yourself overcoming challenges, you train your mind to persevere and keep moving forward, even when things get tough. When you visualize yourself successfully navigating difficulties, you become better prepared to handle adversity in real life. Visualization strengthens your mental fortitude and helps you stay focused on your long-term goals, even in the face of short-term setbacks. As we discussed earlier, neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize and form new neural connections based on experience. Visualization leverages this ability by repeatedly stimulating the brain's success pathways, making it easier to achieve your goals. When you consistently visualize success, your brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with that success. This makes it easier for you to take action, stay focused, and overcome obstacles. Over time, visualization rewires your brain, making success feel natural and inevitable. Visualization is not just a feel-good exercise. It's a powerful tool for personal transformation. It allows you to mentally rehearse your success, boost your confidence, overcome fear, and stay motivated. By combining visualization with consistent action, you can turn your goals into reality. Are you ready to start visualizing your success? The moment you commit to using visualization as a tool for growth, everything changes. Visualization is a mental practice that builds the confidence and clarity you need to achieve your dreams. The more you practice, the more real it will become. And soon, you'll find yourself living the life you've always imagined. As we continue our journey toward mastering the mind, let's explore an essential aspect of mental control: emotional resilience. Life has a way of throwing challenges our way, whether it's personal setbacks, professional hurdles, or unexpected obstacles. While we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. This ability to bounce back from adversity is called emotional resilience, and it's one of the most powerful tools in your mental mastery toolkit. Emotional resilience is not about avoiding negative emotions or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Rather, it's about processing emotions healthily, remaining steady in the face of challenges, and moving forward despite setbacks. Developing this resilience allows you to handle life's curveballs with grace, maintain focus on your goals, and continue pushing toward your dreams, even when things feel tough. So how can you cultivate emotional resilience and develop the strength to face any obstacle that comes your way? Let's break it down. Emotional resilience refers to your ability to cope with stress, adapt to adversity, and recover from setbacks. It's not about avoiding challenges, but about navigating them effectively. Resilience allows you to face difficult emotions like frustration, anger, or sadness. and move through them without being overwhelmed. People with emotional resilience are able to process their emotions without letting them control their actions. They don't let a temporary setback derail them. Instead, they learn from the experience, adjust their mindset, and continue on their path toward success. Resilience is also about accepting that life is filled with ups and downs, and knowing that challenges are part of the journey, not the end. There are countless benefits to developing emotional resilience. Some of the key advantages include improved mental health. Resilient individuals are better able to cope with stress and anxiety. Instead of letting negative emotions take over, they have the tools to process their feelings and move forward. Better problem-solving skills. Emotional resilience enables you to think clearly and creatively when facing challenges. You can approach problems with a solution-oriented mindset, rather than getting stuck in a cycle of negative thinking. Increased self-efficacy. When you develop resilience, you increase your belief in your ability to handle difficult situations. This boosts your self-confidence and self-trust, making it easier to tackle future challenges. Stronger relationships. Resilience helps you manage difficult emotions in relationships, whether in your personal life or at work. It allows you to stay composed and empathetic, rather than reacting impulsively to conflict or stress. Sustained motivation. When you're resilient, setbacks don't feel like permanent failures. Instead, they become learning experiences, helping you stay motivated and focused on your long-term goals. Building emotional resilience. Key strategies. 1. Acknowledge your emotions. The first step in cultivating emotional resilience is to acknowledge your emotions. Often, we try to suppress or deny difficult feelings because they feel uncomfortable. However, emotional resilience is about recognizing and accepting emotions, whether they're positive or negative, without letting them control us. When you experience frustration, sadness, or anger, don't judge yourself for feeling those emotions. Instead, allow yourself to feel them fully, without resistance. Validate your feelings by saying things like, "It's okay to feel upset right now," or "I'm allowed to feel frustrated." Once you acknowledge and accept your emotions, you can then begin to process them and move forward. 2. Shift your perspective. Resilient individuals have an ability to reframe negative experiences. Instead of seeing challenges as roadblocks, they view them as opportunities for growth. One of the best ways to build resilience is to shift your perspective and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? For example, let's say you've faced a setback at work. Instead of focusing on the negative aspects, ask yourself, what skills or lessons can I take away from this experience? Viewing challenges from this angle helps you build resilience by focusing on what's within your control, rather than dwelling on things that can't be changed. 3. Cultivate emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is the ability to manage and control your emotions, rather than letting them control you. One way to develop emotional regulation is through mindfulness practices, such as meditation or deep breathing exercises. These techniques help you become more aware of your emotional state and give you the tools to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Mindfulness helps you step back from your emotions and observe them without judgment. This allows you to make conscious decisions about how to respond to a situation, rather than letting your emotions dictate your actions. You can also practice deep breathing exercises to calm your body and mind. When you feel overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths in through your nose, hold for a moment, and then exhale slowly. This helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the body's relaxation response. 4. Develop a growth mindset. A critical component of emotional resilience is having a growth mindset. This means believing that your abilities, intelligence, and emotional capacity can be developed over time through effort and learning. With a growth mindset, you approach challenges with the belief that failure is not a permanent state, but a stepping stone towards success. When you face a difficult situation, rather than thinking, "I can't handle this," think, "This is tough, but I can learn from it." Embrace the idea that failure is not a reflection of who you are, but rather an opportunity to learn and improve. By adopting a growth mindset, you'll become more adaptable and open to change. 5. Develop healthy coping mechanisms. Emotional resilience is not about avoiding negative emotions, but about having healthy strategies to deal with them. Healthy coping mechanisms help you process and release difficult emotions without letting them take over. Some examples of healthy coping strategies include exercise. Physical activity helps release pent-up emotions and reduces stress by producing endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals. Regular exercise helps build both physical and emotional strength. Journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can provide a release for difficult emotions. Journaling also helps you reflect on your experiences and gain insight into your emotional patterns. Talking to someone. Sometimes, talking to a trusted friend, family member, or therapist can help you process emotions and gain perspective. It's important to have a support system that you can rely on during tough times. Creative outlets. Engaging in creative activities, such as painting, music, or writing, can help you channel your emotions in a positive way. 6. Practice self-compassion. Being emotionally resilient also means being kind to yourself. Self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. When you face challenges or make mistakes, instead of criticizing yourself, offer yourself compassion and encouragement. For example, instead of saying, "I can't believe I messed up again," try saying, "It's okay to make mistakes. I'm learning, and I'll do better next time." Self-compassion helps you bounce back faster from setbacks and allows you to maintain a sense of inner peace in the face of adversity. 7. Focus on solutions, not problems. Another way to build emotional resilience is by focusing on solutions, not problems. When a setback or challenge arises, ask yourself, "What can I do to improve this situation?" Focusing on solutions helps you stay proactive and empowered, rather than feeling helpless or defeated. When you encounter obstacles, break them down into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the entire problem, focus on one small action you can take to move forward. This not only reduces the emotional burden, but also keeps you moving in the direction of your goals. Emotional resilience is a skill that can be developed over time, and it's one of the most important factors in achieving long-term success. It allows you to face life's challenges with strength, courage, and mental clarity, while maintaining your focus on your goals. By acknowledging your emotions, shifting your perspective, and practicing strategies like mindfulness, healthy coping mechanisms, and self-compassion, you can cultivate resilience that will help you overcome any adversity. Are you ready to become more emotionally resilient? Because the moment you commit to bouncing back stronger from challenges, everything changes. With emotional resilience, you'll not only survive difficult times, you'll thrive. And the best part? You can start building your emotional resilience right now. As we near the end of this journey towards mastering your mind, let's take a closer look at the power of mindset in shaping your success. The way you perceive yourself, your goals, and the world around you has an extraordinary impact on the outcome of your efforts. Mindset is everything. It's the lens through which you interpret challenges, opportunities, and even your own potential. If you can shift your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility, your entire life can change. At the heart of this transformation lies the belief that your thoughts shape your reality. The beliefs you hold about yourself, your capabilities, and the world around you determine the choices you make, the actions you take, and ultimately, the success you achieve. If you believe that success is hard to come by, that you're not capable, or that failure is inevitable, you're unconsciously setting yourself up for those outcomes. But if you adopt a mindset of abundance, growth, and possibility, you will open yourself up to new opportunities and experiences that you may have previously thought out of reach. So, how do you change your mindset from one of limitations to one of possibilities? Let's explore some key strategies for transforming your thoughts and beliefs to create the life you desire. The concept of a growth mindset was introduced by psychologist Carol Dweck, and it has become one of the most transformative ideas in the field of personal development. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed over time with effort, practice, and perseverance. They see challenges as opportunities to grow, not as obstacles that define their worth or potential. In contrast, those with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are static and unchangeable. They tend to avoid challenges, give up easily when faced with obstacles, and view failure as a reflection of their inherent limitations. Here's the crucial difference. Growth mindset people thrive in the face of challenges, while fixed mindset people often shrink back in fear of failure. So, how do you develop a growth mindset and apply it to your life? Let's break it down. Strategies for cultivating a growth mindset. 1. Embrace challenges instead of avoiding difficult situations. Actively seek them out. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. When you face a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this help me grow? The more you embrace challenges, the more you'll expand your comfort zone and develop the resilience needed to overcome obstacles. 2. Learn from criticism. People with a growth mindset see feedback and criticism as valuable tools for improvement, not as personal attacks. When someone offers constructive criticism, don't take it personally. Instead, look at it as a gift that helps you improve. Ask for specific feedback and use it to enhance your skills and approach. 3. Celebrate effort, not just results. A growth mindset isn't just about achieving success. It's about appreciating the effort that goes into it. Celebrate the hard work, dedication, and persistence, regardless of the outcome. This shift in focus from just results to effort helps you stay motivated even when things don't go as planned. Remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. 4. Recognize the power of yet. When you feel like you're not making progress or reaching your goals, add the word yet to your thinking. For example, instead of saying, I'm not good at this, say, I'm not good at this yet. This simple addition shifts your perspective from limitation to possibility and opens the door to growth. 5. Visualize success. Visualization is a powerful tool for cultivating a growth mindset. Imagine yourself facing challenges, overcoming obstacles, and succeeding. The more vividly you can picture yourself growing and improving, the more likely you are to take the necessary actions to make that vision a reality. 6. Stay committed to lifelong learning. People with a growth mindset understand that learning doesn't stop once they reach a certain level of success. Commit to lifelong learning, whether that's through books, courses, mentors, or new experiences. The more you expand your knowledge, the more you'll develop your skills and increase your potential. Changing your mindset from fixed to growth takes time, but it's absolutely possible with consistent effort. Start by identifying areas in your life where you might be limiting yourself. Ask yourself, what beliefs do I have about myself that are holding me back? Once you identify these limiting beliefs, challenge them. For example, if you believe that you're not good enough to pursue a particular career or goal, ask yourself, what evidence do I have to support this belief? Is it based on facts, or is it simply a belief I've carried with me? It's important to remember that your beliefs are not facts. They are just thoughts you've chosen to accept. By challenging those thoughts and replacing them with more empowering beliefs, you can shift your mindset and create a new reality. Your internal dialogue plays a huge role in shaping your mindset. The way you talk to yourself influences how you perceive the world, your abilities, and your potential. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you can't succeed, or that you're not worthy of success, you're reinforcing a fixed mindset. To cultivate a growth mindset, you need to start changing the way you talk to yourself. Replace negative, limiting self-talk with positive affirmations that reflect your growth, potential, and resilience. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I'm capable of figuring this out." Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," say, "I am constantly improving and growing." The more you practice positive self-talk, the more your mindset will shift toward growth, opportunity, and success. The stories you tell yourself shape your reality. If you see yourself as a person who struggles, fails, and can never seem to get ahead, you'll unconsciously create more of those experiences. But if you rewrite your narrative, focusing on growth, progress, and success, you'll begin to attract those things into your life. Start by asking yourself, what do I want my life story to be? Do you want it to be one of struggle and limitation, or one of growth, triumph, and resilience? The narrative you create will influence the actions you take, the decisions you make, and the opportunities you attract. You are the author of your own story, and you have the power to rewrite it at any moment. So, what will your new narrative be? Your mindset is the key to everything. It determines how you approach challenges, how you respond to setbacks, and how you perceive your own potential. When you shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, you unlock new opportunities for growth, success, and fulfillment. Are you ready to embrace the power of a growth mindset? Because the moment you do, everything changes. Your thoughts, your actions, and your reality will begin to align with the limitless potential you hold within. And the best part? You can start this shift right now.